So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video, we have here these 10 questions to answer on the topic concept of living. So guys, in this video, we'll focus on nervous coordination. So in short to state in the end of this video, let's go ahead and start with the first question here, which says, which of the following actions is not a voluntary action? We have A, cheating, B, fighting, C, sneezing, D, stealing. So guys, the only action here that is not a voluntary action is option C, and that's sneezing. So that's the answer to this question. Let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 2 here, it says, the diagram below is an illustration of human brain. Study it and answer this question. The function of the part labeled II is that it controls A, temperature and appetite, B, posture and balance of the body, C, all voluntary actions, D, many involuntary actions. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, many involuntary actions. So this part labeled II here is actually the brainstem and controls many involuntary actions. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 3 here, it says, the diagram below is an illustration of human brain. Study it and answer this question. The part labeled I is the A, medulla oblongata, B, cerebellum, C, cerebrum, and D, olfactory lobe. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's cerebrum. So this is the largest part of the brain that is found at the front part, and that's called the cerebrum. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 4 here, it says, the legs of an accident victim with a fractured vertebral column and injured spinal cord could not be raised because A, impulse from receptors in the legs cannot travel to the brain, B, chemical substances will be released at synapses in the central nervous system, C, reflex action cannot take place in the legs, D, impulses from the brain cannot travel to the legs. So guys, looking at this, if an accident victim has a fractured vertebral column, and guys, that's where you have your spinal cord, and actually from the question, the victim's spinal cord got injured. So you notice that actually impulses from the brain cannot travel down to the legs due to this, and that's the reason for the fact that the victim cannot use his or her leg. So that's the answer to this question, option D. The impulses from the brain cannot travel down to the legs. So let's consider the next question. Question number 5 here, it says, the relationship between the retina and the brain is similar to that between the A, cochlea and the brain, B, cochlea and the semicircular canal, C, cochlea and the auditory nerve, and D, eardrum and the brain. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the cochlea and the brain. So the relationship between the retina and the brain is similar to that between the cochlea and the brain. And that's the answer to this question. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 6 here, it says, each neuron consists of the following structures except A, white matter, B, dendrites, C, cell body, D, axon. So guys, a neuron will comprise of both the axon, the dendrites, and the cell body, and not the white matter. Actually, there are a collection of neurons that make the white matter or the gray matter, but the white matter or gray matter are not essentially a part of a neuron. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's white matter. So let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 7 here, it says, the nerves that arise from the brain are known as A, sacral nerve, B, spinal nerve, C. Optic nerve, D. Cranial nerve. So guys, these nerves are known as cranial nerves, and that's option D here. So the brain nerves, or the nerves that arise from the brain, are the cranial nerves, while those that arise from the spine are the spinal nerves. It's as easy as that. So take note of that, guys. Let's consider the next question. Question number 8 here, it says, the medulla oblongata controls all the following except A. Breathing rate, B. Heartbeat, C. Blood pressure, D. Balance and posture. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, and that's balance and posture. So that's it for that question. Let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 9 here, it says, the part of the nervous system that interprets blinking of the eye is the A. hindbrain, B. spinal cord, C. cerebrum, and D. olfactory lobe. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, and that's the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the part of the nervous system that interprets the blinking of the eye and other actions. It's actually responsible for interpretation of most actions of the system. So that's it for that question. Let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 10 here, it says, which of the following is an example of a reflex action? We have A. biting, B. dancing, C. sneezing, D. singing. So guys, obviously the answer to this question is option C, and that's sneezing. Sneezing is actually a reflex action. That's the actions that we don't take control of, or actions that are not voluntary. So they occur spontaneously on their own. We don't need to voluntarily do them. So they are involuntary actions. That's the reflex action. So guys, sneezing is one of such actions, and that's the answer to this question. So guys, this is where we'll end this video for today. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, you can drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. So finally guys, we want to encourage you to join our YouTube channel community by hitting the join button below, and we'll see you right there. Thank you once again for watching this video, and see you on the next one.